My middle brother is a lead investigator for the Federal Defender's Office in Anchorage, Alaska, for the Alaska Territory. And so, in his capacity, he travels around investigating crimes, that type of thing. And he was on business in Fairbanks investigating some crime. And he saw a monument that he called the Pioneer Monument. And listed in the name, there were several names listed there. And there was the name Nevada Fraction etched in stone on this monument. And our name is unusual. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, we're descendants of fractions. My maternal family are fractions. And so he got really excited about this, and he called me up and says, "Hey, this is amazing. Let's check this out." Mm-hmm. So he started investigating her a little bit. Mm-hmm. And at the time, she was in her late 80s, and she was a resident of a nursing home facility called the Pioneer Home in Fairbanks. Mm-hmm. And he tried to meet her. Mm-hmm. But either she would not see him, mm-hmm. or she was unable, I don't really know. But he never really got a chance to meet her. And we've always been curious about her. Mm-hmm. Ever since.
What were some of the things that he had learned about her and shared with you?
Well, Alaska was not a state until 1960 something. I don't really remember that date. But his interpretation of that situation was she was a pioneer. And so you wouldn't necessarily think of a pioneer in the same way you would think of, say, the pioneers to California. Mm-hmm. So he thought, and he assumed that perhaps all of the founding residents of Fairbanks at the time of statehood, maybe they were being cast as pioneers. Mm-hmm. And somewhere along the line, I don't know, but I got the most erroneous story. I heard this and remembered it a totally different way. And I was going around telling everybody, in the Fairbanks airport, there is a brass bust of 5 individuals, and one of them is a Black woman, and her name is Nevada Fraction. Now, my brother tells me now he didn't tell me that. But anyway, that was the story we went with. And we started thinking, what is this woman doing up in this type of wilderness and frontier? Mm-hmm. And what must she be? And what is this life? And we were all very adventurous family anyway. Mm-hmm. So that whole mythology about who she possibly could be just really gripped me and him. And then I set out looking for her. Mm-hmm. And I tried to find out what I could about her. Mm-hmm. And in my spiritual world, I believe that all of our ancestors are still present and have some agency. And I felt like the harder I looked for her, the less I found. Mm-hmm. And I kept wondering why she would not show herself to me, and why it was just so difficult. There were so many things about her that I could find. She was a little bit notorious, let's just say. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to find out who this woman was. I was concerned about who she was. And over time, the more I looked and the more I searched within inside myself, and the more I came to grips with the possibility of, when you decide that you want to present someone that cannot present for themselves, you run the risk of exploiting them for your own agenda. Mm. So I had to research my agendas, and I had to go through it. And gradually, she started showing me things. Now, she still doesn't trust me. Yeah. But I am aware, and I'm going to try to be as fair as I can be to someone that there's no possibility of anybody anymore who was alive that I'm aware of now. In family, I definitely know it's not true, that knew her. But I really would like to tell her story, because it's a very, very interesting story of a woman on her own.